Greetings, salutations, happy Wednesday, March the 4th, 2026. Still a chill in the air, but 15 days until the official start of spring. Not that anybody's counting. We still got piles of snow out there. There's a big snow pig outside of a Cuban restaurant. It's now my barometer for how warm it's been because the pig is melting. So the ears are kind of coming off now. And it's a really amazing pig head, all made in snow. Maybe I'll post the picture on Facebook or something. So if you follow me there, you might see it. But it's now my barometer because I take a walk every morning and walk past the pig. And so the pig's ears are kind of almost gone. It's still got a lot of shape, but I think today may be its demise. But anyway, here we are, making our way in the world today. Takes everything you've got. Do you know the reference? Are you old enough to know the reference? That was Cheers, the amazing sitcom from the 80s. All right, so listen, here's the trivia that you didn't know you couldn't live without. And I know this is going to just blow your mind, but on this day in 1933, in his first inaugural speech, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, I used to think it was Delano. I don't know why I thought that. I haven't thought that for years, but I think when I was a kid, I heard Delano as Delano, like Eleanor. So President Franklin Delano Roosevelt told his fellow Americans that the only thing we have to fear is fear itself, referring to the Great Depression, 1933. And I'm reading 1929 right now. I'm about 2/3 of the way into it, and it continues to just be an amazing read. So that era of American history, I think, is rather apropos for these days, and something that I don't know if it's enjoyment. There is some joy in it, but deep interest, I suppose, in looking at what changes and what doesn't. You know, the patterns that we get into individually and collectively. So there's a lot to be learned there. The other point of trivia for today that I want to point out is that on this day in 1962, a nuclear power plant began operating in Antarctica, of all things. No idea about that. I've never heard of that. Didn't know they had. But I suppose that's where they get their power. It's from nuclear. I don't know. Pretty amazing stuff. Nuclear power is quite an invention. And very efficient in many ways. So, all right, that's that. Listen, what's going on here? The beat goes on as I continue to think about, what kind of business I'm building and how much it's going to take to get it sustainable. We're making progress. But yesterday I had a moment when I've been putting down a lot of pillars and systems and tools and going to networking events and talking to people. And I reached a point yesterday where I felt just really uncomfortable. I mean, the alarm bells started going off. At this time, though, it wasn't like waking up in the middle of the night worried. It was in the middle of the day, just a darkness. And I looked into that. I took a step back. So there's a couple things I did that I just want to share with you, that if you're trying to build anything, you're trying to go through anything very, very challenging, maybe this will help. So I went, oh, okay. So what is this alarm bell all about? It doesn't come from nowhere. There's a reason for it. So I stepped back, took some time, ate some lunch, late lunch, and gave it some time to breathe, investigated, and then I got back to it, and I realized that the next step that I needed to build was a real strategy around business development. Because, look, I've been doing some form of business development for decades. So I know what a good one looks like, and I know what one that's unfocused looks like. And leaving it up to, kind of random conversations. I mean, networking's great, connecting people's great, but something more strategic and specific is needed in order to get velocity, in order to grow, to build beyond what, the first fruits of the the first low-hanging fruits of any venture. There's usually a few that come really early, and then there's this lull. And I was recognizing that of like, okay, now's when you really kick up the BD. And thankfully, and this is one thing I'll say about AI tools, is that I find them really good for this kind of work. So I went into Claude and spent a couple of hours actually really getting into what I've built so far and clarifying what my business development strategy needs to look like right now. And I have to say, the output, even on the first try, was quite good. What I do is I usually, if I have documents or whatever, I'll upload those. But I really like to, as you might guess, given that I'm doing this kind of work also in the morning, is to speak into whatever AI tool I'm using, but provide a lot of detail. And that's what I did. So I provided a lot of detail, and I went back and forth, and I produced a comprehensive, clear, but not overly complicated, comprehensive but not complicated business development strategy that lays out exactly where I need to prioritize my time and with whom and with what purpose. And I'd say it's probably 90% there. There's some stuff I left out of it, but it's really, really good. And in the process of doing that, addressed the emotions that were coming up that were like, hey, the alarm bells that were like, you need to address this. Another reminder that, action is the cure for anxiety. And I would say beyond that, focused action. Action that is thoughtful, intentional, and for a purpose is even better. And so, hard-fought lessons over the years, let's put it that way. So I hope that helps you in some manner. It certainly helps me. I'm so glad you're listening. Recommend us to a friend if you can, but most of all, just be good to yourself and others. And I really appreciate you listening, as always, and we will check back again with you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.